I won't waste a lot of time saying what I agree with you on. Couldn't agree with you more on Saudi Arabia. The only thing I'll say in response to that is every single general, every single presidential candidate wants to suck up to Saudi Arabia.
That's right.
Trump is the most and by the way, I'll throw one in for you. We're continuing this pointless Obama war in Afghanistan. We've been in there 17 years. What are we doing there? But all of his advisors and all of your favorite Republican, John McCain and Lindsey Graham, oh no, they want a full-blown, relationship with Saudi Arabia, and we'll go to war in Syria, we'll go to war in Russia. No, Trump is, at least on the war front, he's doing better than anybody else would have. As for, Obama being a kick-ass on, hard ass on immigration, no, this is a total lie. Two quick points I will make. One is, this is a Washington metric that if you spend more money, you're getting serious about it. No, spending money on Border Patrol means more government workers, more unionized workers, more taxpayer money. It does not mean more enforcement. And what Obama did to make it look like they were doing enforcement is they redefined deportation. It used to be, for 50 years, you turn somebody away at the border. That's not a deportation. You turned them away at the border. Suddenly, under Obama, they started describing the turn them away at the border as a deportation. So, it's like a failing school saying, we just changed the passing grade from 70 to 40. And look, all the kids passed. That's what we got under Obama. We're getting deportations. You wouldn't have so many people weeping about the deportation. There was just another one, I think in Bloomberg yesterday, someone weeping about, it was an ICE agent saying, oh, these ICE agents are coming to me and they actually want to deport people. No, ICE is able to do its job now, and they haven't been, not under Obama, not under Bush.
All right, first to you.
I need to respond to that because there were a lot of
Before we get to her response, Ann Coulter countered those 2 points that Ana made in the previous thing in terms of Obama being a kick-ass on deportation, saying that, hiring 40,000 more agents, spending billions and billions of dollars on that, and countered very effectively saying spending more money doesn't mean effective policing, policing, or effective increasing, your policies and making them better. Just because you throw money at it doesn't mean crap. And the second thing's basically saying in terms of deportations were up. Well, if you redefine what it means for deportations, as Ann said, well, of course your numbers are going to look better. So this is what the Democrats and probably the Republicans or political parties, when they get in to try to spin in their direction, let's see if we can rearrange or play around with the numbers or redefine definitions. And that can either help us or, help us, put out our policies and say, hey, look, these policies are working. But it's all playing games, with the numbers.
Misleading statements that you mentioned, and I'll tell you why. So the Obama administration certainly did deport more people than the Bush administration, and it was not just people being turned away at the border. I'll give you the numbers, okay? So first of all, the $12 billion that he allocated for border security went toward hiring 40,000 border agents. So it was not to increase the bureaucracy. It was to include or add to what we already had at the border. Now, you mentioned...
That's just stupid, whatever the heck she just said. So you just hired 40,000. You just hired 40,000 more agents, spending $12 billion for 40,000 new agents. You could have, how many border walls could you build for $12 billion? But we don't want to spend any money to build a freaking wall. No, that's not what we want to do. Okay, let's just spend it on border agents and not increasing the bureaucracy. Do you hear that stupidity right there from Ana? Adding 40,000 new agents doesn't increase the bureaucracy at all. Doesn't increase the paperwork, doesn't increase the payroll, doesn't increase the paperwork, doesn't increase nothing like that. Of course not. Just 40,000 more people there. Didn't increase, government didn't increase. The government didn't become larger. What the hell is she talking about? Just increased by 40,000 new people.
The ICE agents and all the people crying about how mean they are. I'm curious what you think about the border agents that are now being sued by the ACLU for molesting 2 teenage girls who are coming in from Guatemala. Does that make you feel bad at all?
Something else a wall would solve. Again, hiring border agents is not keeping illegal immigrants out of the country, and we know that because Obama was welcoming unaccompanied children. What the border agents were doing, this wonderful 40,000 border agents was handing them a pass, putting them on a bus to the interior of the country. That wasn't deportation, it was the welcome force down at the border. You put up a wall, you don't have to worry about paying unemployment, paying workman's comp, they don't have to go to sleep, they don't slack off, they don't molest illegals, the wall just sits there day and night, not having to sleep, eat,
they're actually, you know, it's incredibly misleading to say that we need to build a wall, because the fact of the matter is we 100% already have a wall. We have a 2,000-mile long border that we share with Mexico, right? About 1,000 miles are already covered by a wall. The rest, we're talking about a river and we're talking about treacherous terrain. We're talking about mountains, okay? One of the reasons why he hasn't built the wall yet is because it's almost impossible to build the wall in the areas that we're talking about. There's a ton of issues with building the wall in the remaining area, including U.S. properties. We have resorts, we have U.S. properties that would essentially be divided in half if we continued building that wall. And by the way, it's a gigantic waste of resources. How about our taxpayer money actually go back to us as American people? How about that?
Okay. All right. So you brought up healthcare. We're all thinking about healthcare, a huge issue this week.
I'd just like to basically say that, you know, Anna came back and said, you know what, border wall, you know, in terms of it's, you know, it's already there. But when you take a look at it, some of it is just like, you know, fence, some of it's based like pieces of rope, some of it just broken pieces of wood. I mean, what she's talking about. Then she's saying, you know, you're going to be splitting up, you know, there's buildings there, there's resorts there, whatever. I mean, there's ways of, if that's true, and I'm not sure if it is, or if it's just a talking point, but if that's true, there's ways of compensating those owners of those resorts to say, what can we do to work around it, to do things in terms of, where can we go ahead and use engineering techniques, use architectural techniques to design and to move around. And you can alleviate those problems if you have to talk about where it's going to go through on land masses down there at the border. Is that so insurmountable a problem that we can't figure out? If there's a piece of property there that we can't decide to move the wall here to there because a piece of land is in the way? I mean, come on now. That's just stupid. But anyways, in this regard, I think they both got their points across. They both, rebutted with their statistics or whatever. In this one here, I'd basically say it was pretty even. I don't know. It just, to me, it's like I said, is look, at least on one side, you've got Ann Coulter, who is on the side of President Trump, obviously, but still has some, I wouldn't say reservations, but still obvious. Like I said, you're not getting everything that you want, but the things that you are getting, you're completely happy with. And 7 months into the presidency, you're probably saying, okay, fine. She gave it a B right now. She's saying, but she's looking for an A by the midterms. And that's, I think, what we would basically do too. Brand new, never been in Washington, obviously never been a politician. Let's see what, in hindsight, we can basically see by the midterms, he did a tremendous amount of things, even though he was being pummeled each and every single day in the news. Anyways, folks, we appreciate you taking the time to watch. You've been watching the Dr. Nasir Shaikh Show. I've been your guest host. My name is Dr. Nasir. Like, share, and follow us. Hit that subscription notification bell. I'll leave you with my final thought, which is, when you're right, and when you're left, you're wrong. We'll see you again next time, folks. Take care and stay safe.